This is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report. Want to talk a little bit about Vault 7, releasing some news that many of us have known. If you've watched me over the years, you've known I've covered this about. I've put out videos where a person was sitting in front of her computer. She called the police, and somebody was in her computer typing and talking to her and could see everything that was going on. About Samsung, they actually have it in their literature that they can hear and see everything you're doing, that they're going to sell it off to a third party. These cameras that are on that you're watching into now, you should cover it up. Even these, I think it was the CIA or the FBI director said, I cover up mine, my webcam. The iPhone, if it can listen to you, I was on our radio show that I used to do, and we sat there and tested it and started talking about product. And next thing you know, it started showing up in our advertising scheme for Facebook. And because it listens to your phone conversations, there's also tons of videos out there where they'll show you. They can go into your iPhone. It was on 60 Minutes, I believe they did it. They were able to watch you, listen to you. They could track your phone calls and do everything. But nobody wanted to believe it. They called people like that Alex Jones crazy guy, conspiracy theorist. But he was dead on, wasn't he? Dead on. And so you may want to think twice whenever you start to use some form of electronic device, because the government spooks may be out there using programs where they can remotely activate into your computer, into your microphone, into your laptop. And it's not just with them, foreign countries, foreign entities, individuals that feel like they want to hack into your system. It's pretty simple for all of us. I mean, if they can hack into the CIA, they can get into my computer. Any digital device out there can be accessed. They can be accessed to spy on you. And I love when the people say, so I'm not doing anything wrong. Give me a break. When you're in your privacy right now, I'm sitting here, if I'm in front of the computer, I don't think anyone's watching me. I want privacy. I don't want the world out there watching what I'm doing. I get too much of that as it is. Donald Trump, one thing they figured out with this thing is they got malware where they can basically, and what they were doing at Trump's is sitting out inside of a van. They can take malware. If they can identify where your data communication points are coming, they can route it so that it looks like you're going through Russia. And that's how they were trying to say, oh, servers in Russia, which ended up being a slate false story, fake news, which Hillary, I don't know, for some reason tweeted out yesterday again. And she knows it's fake news. She should know it's fake news. But then they can sit out there and say, oh, look, you're communicating with Russia, because they can do this stuff technically and you wouldn't even know about it. And so Donald Trump, everybody needs to be careful out there. The deep state, they're obsessed with watching, tracking, and monitoring American people. They're desperately out there, and I don't know why, but they're in need of our information, and it violates our constitutional rights with this unconstitutional surveillance, with the NSA, the CIA, all these guys. The NSA has this $2 billion data storage system out in Utah. And basically, they can go out there and do electronic monitoring. And these things are embedded, this software that facilitates this, and the hardware is embedded in communication companies. And they can go out there and listen to just everything that's out there. But how many people won't pay attention? You had Snowden come forward and say what everything was going on. How about NSA employee William Binney? He went out there, and back then he was said that they were basically warrantless wiretapping into about 320 million calls a day. 320 million calls a day. And that was just at the beginning, the infantile stages of the program. But even if you're not using a phone, they can still listen in. They can still sneak in via the TV, via the computer, via your iPhone, via any electronic device. And these are tactics that are not being used against terrorists. They're being used against everyday Americans, everyday persons across the world. And this is a shame. They could be listening in right now. I'm not even doing this live. I'm recording this. But they could be listening into this conversation. What can I do to prevent it? I can't do anything to prevent it. Sure, I can cover up my webcam. I could unplug my microphones. What else can we do? We can shut down the Samsung TV. We can pull batteries out of everything. But at the end of the day, it's going to be really hard to keep the government out of my electronic devices if you understand, like I have, and studied this, and then you look at information that just came out in Vault 7. Information that media like CNN won't even cover. I don't know if they have yet. Earlier today, they had not yet. They've yet to cover it. These guys are extremely sophisticated. You may all remember Cheryl Atkinson, how they got into her computer and they started going out there with spyware that was proprietary to the government. They went into her computer. She didn't even know it. And she ran into that whole classified document thing. And if they could do it to Cheryl Atkinson, they can do it to Donald Trump. They can do it to Donald Trump. They can do it to any of us. Trump, you guys, foreign governments, everybody needs to understand this, that the deep state is out there. And if they want to destroy you, they will destroy you. They can destroy you. If they want to monitor you, they will monitor. They can monitor you. And until something's done, until somebody, hopefully Trump gets in there and cleans house in the intelligence agencies, you got to be careful out there 24/7. And we hope ultimately that this will end. But I encourage you all to go out there, read up on that Vault 7. I barely touched on a lot of the stuff that they can do. And you'll be amazed at what has been getting done. And you'll be amazed that a lot of these guys they used to call conspiracy theorists and people like myself that have been talking about this for years, we're actually accurate. We're actually right because the documentation's out there. All you got to do is actually read and research this information. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report.